What's up, everybody? Scott X1307 back again. Latest flea market haul was today, the 18th, so this is from the 16th of May. Had a great time at the flea market. I think I came away with one of my better hauls. Found some really fantastic stuff. I am really kind of excited to show a little bit of what I found. Found some good books as always. I found something a little extra. You'll see that at the end. I'll go through these books as quickly as I can to get to that point. So like always, start off with 20-cent books. Found a decent little stack, and they're all DC and Marvel. No indie books this week. Just didn't really have a lot of indie books, especially stuff that I needed. We'll start off with DC. I grabbed a few of those. First is War of the Gods number 4. I believe I have the first 4 issues of that now. I have to double check. I'm not sure how long that ran, but it's awesome George Perez covers and interior art. And I found this neat Green Lantern Green Arrow number 1. It reprints some of the Denny O'Neil Neil Adams run. That Neil Adams cover and interior art. So yeah, it's not the original, and it's got a little spot here on the edge, but still, it's pretty cool. Be able to read some of that story there, because those original issues are getting pretty expensive. And this is a little thicker than a normal comic. You can see back in 1983, this was $2. It's got a thicker cover. 20 cents. Alright, now to some Marvel books. Found some pretty good stuff. I grabbed this. I like this character in the 90s, as cheesy as it was. Sleepwalker number 5. It's got Spider-Man on the cover. And then picked up the first 3 issues. I think this was a 6-part limited series. I watched this cartoon early 90s or so. 91. So it's late 80s, early 90s. Pirates of Darkwater. I always thought it was pretty cool. Not the best thing, but you know, it was pretty neat. It's pretty different. So I grabbed issue 1, 2, and 3 of that, and that cover is actually pretty cool. Then I found a little stash of What If books. I believe these are volume 2, of course, from the 90s. But yeah, volume 2. Cool stories nonetheless. Always like the What If titles. Here's number 13. What if Professor X had become the Juggernaut? Number 14. What if Captain Marvel had not died? This is a neat cover. Number 16. What if Wolverine battled Conan? That should be an interesting story. This looked cool as well. It's John Romita Jr. cover. Number 17. What if Kraven had killed Spider-Man? And finally, number 38. And it's What if Thor was a thrall of Seth? So, and it's also part of that Timequake, which is really weird for them to have a crossover, event running through the What If titles. But thought it was pretty cool. And What If stories, like I said, are usually pretty good. So I grabbed those up. And then I found these 2 prestige books, which are pretty cool. It's a 2-issue miniseries, X-Men Spotlight on Starjammers. Really, I like these covers. It's Dave Cockrum. Dave Cockrum art inside. And not sure if these are reprint stories or not. But it's all about the Starjammers. Like I said, they're you know, thicker prestige format. They were $4.50 when they came out in 1990. 20 cents. 20 cents. And here's issue number 2. It's got a couple of little stains right here, really small, but overall it's not bad. It's more Dave Cockrum art. Thought this was kind of neat. Find in the quarter books, Quasar issue number 1. And I found some really good issues from Marvel Comics Presents, part of the Weapon X storyline. It's number 77. It's awesome Barry Windsor Smith art. Number 79. Just look at that cover, man. That's just awesome. And 81. Now, anyone who hasn't read the Weapon X storyline, that's highly recommended. Like I said, it's great Barry Windsor Smith art. Just, I mean, look at that first page. Just some amazing stuff. And there are other stories in here. There's 3 other stories: Captain America, Ant-Man, Daredevil. Marvel Comics Presents always have multiple stories, but Weapon X ran through the 70s. This issues of Marvel Comics Presents. It's all Barry Windsor Smith story and art, so can't beat it. And it gives the you know, the original kind of origin of Wolverine. Last 20-cent book. Working on this Thor run up to 400. There's Mighty Thor number 327, and that's a pretty cool cover there. Looks like they're about to get eaten by some giant space creature. Alright, now moving on to price books. Actually found some really good stuff, and the last book is definitely one that I had been looking for. It's not a big major key, but it is part of a run that is really hard for me to find. First I grabbed this DC Comics Presents number 41, that famous Joker cover. Where Superman is, he's got to save the Joker. Then another awesome issue of Commandy. It's a little rough on the side, but it's only $2. Number 33, and it's still Jack Kirby art and story, so can't go wrong with that. And I've seen this issue in a couple of different videos. The cover just looks very cool, and this book is in you know, really decent shape. It's Carmen Infantino cover. It's Detective Comics 366, or the Last Will and Testament of Batman. Oh, it's pretty cool. Somebody who originally wanted $30 for it, I think it was $5. They're all 25% off, so. And it's an interesting little story. I have to find the next issue of that to get the continuation, though. Alright, now some Marvel books. Some really cool stuff. I grabbed this issue, Worlds Unknown number 3, because it is an adaptation of the story that Day the Earth Stood Still is based on. It's a neat cover. Rich Buckler art. I found this. This is in remarkable shape. This is a near mint book at the flea market. Machine Man number 2 for $2, 25% off. He said it's in really, really, really good shape. So now I think I have like the first 4 issues of that. Slowly working on that. Some more great Jack Kirby stuff. And grab this issue of Avengers number 61, because it is fairly early in that run. As you can see, it does have some condition issues, but you know, it was only a couple of bucks. And it's got a lot of characters on the cover, and it's got the Doctor Strange with where he still has the mask. So always thought that was neat. I don't know why they lost that. They did away with that. I kind of like the mask on Doctor Strange. Alright, last 3 books. I'm always excited when I find these. Tales to Astonish. This is number 96. Really awesome cover there. Submariner. I like the Skull Island in the background. and number 94, where he's battling a character called Dragor, or. But you know, this Tales to Astonish, Tales of Suspense. Those books are fairly difficult to find, at least in my area, especially for just a few bucks. And these are in, you know, pretty decent shape in VG. So nice. Last issue. There was 3 issues. The last 3 issues of this short run series at SC Comic Con. I talked to the guy that had them. He was willing to make a deal and would have been a pretty good price on them. But you know, I didn't go back to the guy's booth and pick them up. And you know, maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have. But this is one reason why I didn't. Given enough time, I knew they would show up at the flea market. Like I said, it's not a big key issue or anything like that, but it is a book I was very, very, very happy to find. Silver Surfer Volume 1. This is number 18, featuring the Inhumans. This is Jack Kirby art inside, and it's got, the book's been folded. Some kid probably had it, put it in his back pocket, but other than that, it's in pretty good shape. Corner's a little rounded, but other than the fold, there's no real major creasing. Spine's in pretty good shape, couple of small ticks, tiny bit of spine roll here, but it's Jack Kirby, Silver Surfer, Volume 1. Can't beat it. Not to me. Freaking awesome. Alright, hope I didn't go through those too quickly, but I am very excited about these next things that I'm going to show. This is from my favorite cartoon as a kid. There's been several comic series over the years done, but these, they're toys. I don't buy a lot of toys, but when I saw these, I had to grab them. And Cammy, Reader 1717, if you're watching, I was lucky enough. The guy, I didn't end up calling him. I was waiting until this weekend. And if he wasn't at the flea market, I was going to give him a call, because he only lives like 10-15 minutes away. But luckily he was at the flea market. This guy has a table set up with a bunch of toys, some vintage stuff and some modern stuff. Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, some of the Marvel stuff, Toy Biz line from the 90s. He had some Wildcats toys out there this weekend. But I was very excited to find he still had original G1 Starscream. It's not in perfect shape. It is missing his hands. His hands were just little pieces with pegs that stuck in. Missing the front little landing gear and a missile, and of course the stickers and these 2 back wings. But the main bot figure itself is there. It's in good shape. I'm not going to transform it because it does take a second to do, but it's pretty cool. This was my favorite toy. Oh hell, what the hell, we'll transform him. It's my favorite toy as a kid. I had one. Somebody, all I can tell is somebody stole it, because even then they were you know, sought after by everyone. And I only had a few Transformers as a kid because they were, even at that time, they're fairly expensive for a toy. That's why I had more G.I. Joes. G.I. Joes were $2, $3 a piece. Transformers were always, you know, 10, 15 bucks. But yeah, like I said, I had to get it. The guy was asking $15 for it, but I worked a little deal with him because he had a couple of more. He also had, God, I meant to look it up. I forget this character's name, but it's another one of the Decepticon jets. Same issue with this one. It's missing a missile, his hands, and the front little landing gear. But other than that, he does have the back wings, and he, most importantly, has these little pieces here. And I grabbed that one as well. I always wanted this one as a kid. I just like the design of that with like the hairier propeller blades on the wings, so he could take off and land without a landing strip. He could do a vertical lift off. And finally, yes, there's one more. Well, this is still my favorite. He and Optimus were my two favorite characters. Optimus first, Starscream second. I don't know why, because he was a whiny little bitch, but excuse my language. He was a whiny little character, but I always liked him. Probably because it was one of the few Transformers toys that I had. It was the second one that I ever got. But he also had this. This is the Autobot radio, their version of Soundwave blaster, and he is fairly large. But it is original, complete except for accessories. The stickers aren't in bad shape. It's pretty cool. So I got all three of them for, I don't know if I should say this, it was 35 bucks. But you know, I just finally got my taxes done, money came in. Didn't get a whole lot. This is probably all that I'll be able to pick up with my tax money. The rest is going into savings and pay off a couple of bills. But he had these. I couldn't pass them up. G1 Transformers at a pretty damn good price, I think. That was very cool. So I don't fall. And like I said, you know, they are not in perfect shape, but I'm not a big toy person. As long as they're not broken and the main figure is complete and there, that's all that really matters to me. It's more of a nostalgia factor. Just trying to, I don't know, relive some of that childhood fun days, you know. And especially with this figure, I was incredibly happy to find this. I can't tell you how much I have missed this figure ever since I was probably, I don't know, 8, 9 years old. And I was very happy to find that. So that was freaking cool. So that was my flea market haul for this week. Some great books. Always excited to find Volume 1 Silver Surfer, any issue. Now I have 3 that are complete, and I've got 1 coverless issue that I got for free. So, yeah, even though it's got a fold here, it just, I don't know, to me that's like provenance. It just shows that some kid really liked this book, carried it around with him, probably showed it off to his friends, which is what I'm doing here. So it was a fantastic day for me. I hope everybody had a great day, great weekend, and that's it. Cool. Transformers, man, more than meets the eye. Wish I could still do the noise. We used to make the noise when we transformed, you know, the makes me kind of want to play. I'm 36 years old. But thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. And like always, everybody take care, and you know, keep reading your books. Later, y'all. I'm gonna go play with some toys.